much, Alex. I appreciate that, and I just hope, I know a lot of people are buying it, and at least the reviews on Amazon say that they think it should be required reading for students and all over the country, and that's heartening because I really think, people have got to understand what has happened to the country and get some historical perspective and realize that, people like today, like Julian Assange, WikiLeaks, who was willing to publish things that the major media wouldn't until he released them to the New York Times and others. But, we're finding out about the secret army in Afghanistan and the knowledge of the drug corruption and all the casualties in Iraq that nobody has brought to light. I mean, that's because of WikiLeaks. And, more power to them and to groups like Anonymous who are willing to take on the corporations that suddenly want to get rid of them.
Well, that's right. For those that don't know, they have a trick in the last 8 years where if they fly you out and you die at Ramstein in Germany, your death doesn't count as a combat casualty. I mean, just incredible deception. And now war isn't war. It's a kinetic military action. Something Jesse said that 20 years, 100 years from now, he wants these books that you guys have painstakingly researched and put together in a very presentable, powerful read, that it be a record that people understand that we did know what was happening. Not all of us did go along with this global fascist move, but I see a big awakening happening right now, and that's why the system's panicking. I don't think we'll have to wait 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but they set up the National Security Act in 47 and said, don't worry, in 10, 20 years we'll release stuff. Now they're pushing Kennedy back to 2020-something because they've got something to hide, and they shouldn't be arresting people that leak things. They should get medals.
Absolutely. But, there's a lot of people in high places that obviously don't want this information out there. And at the same time, the Bill of Rights that was set up by our founding fathers is in peril from all the Patriot Act and all these other things that have happened since 9/11. And, it's just... We could just in the book on page 12, I should mention, I'm not going to read them all here, but it goes through the amendments and what has been changed by the Patriot Act in terms of what our rights and freedoms are as American citizens.
No, it's very powerful. We have to relearn the Bill of Rights and Constitution, or discover it for some, to see how far we've gone down the rat hole. In closing, I know you guys were doing one on the gangster government, but then because of WikiLeaks, this was the next book you were going to do after that. You guys went and did this book. Give us a little idea of the next book coming out.
There will be one more book that we're doing together, and it's going to look at the political system and the fact that the two-party system is a complete fiasco and failure, and it's not really a call for a third party so much as a whole new way of electing our leaders and trying to get away from this complete monopolization of the political system by the corporate powers.
And it's got a great title, but we can't reveal that, can we?
I don't think we can talk it yet, so... It's going to be a year from now when the book comes out. All
right, Dick Russell, thank you so much for spending time with us. We'll talk to you again soon.
Alex, thanks so much for having me on today.
You bet. Great having you. It was 4 years ago under Bush that the Associated Press and others confirmed that in the stage roundups that they do a couple of a year of illegal aliens at meatpacking plants and textile facilities, that they would then be taken to ICE facilities and given green cards and released. Also, we've interviewed many sheriffs and former Border Patrol agents who quit over the fact that in the last 2 years, under Obama, they have been ordered to not arrest illegal aliens except for during small quota times for PR purposes. Well, the banks give illegals bank accounts with no ID, but citizens have to show 3 forms. All over the country, sheriffs have gone public who arrest illegals and bring them to the feds, and the feds won't take them. There's 800-plus sanctuary cities. 7 years ago, it's in my mini-film, Battle for the Republic, Vicente Fox came to Austin and gave an award to the state, Wells Fargo, and the Austin Police Department for not arresting illegals for drunk driving, you name it. So we're going to be breaking that down. Exclusive, Arizona sheriff cites a flood of border agents confirming feds' no apprehension policy. And he says that he's got all these border agents and others confirming that absolutely they're told to let them go. remember, Bush made it where they had to sit in one site in a truck on hilltops, and then they'd only be allowed to look left or right, but not left or right. And that their main job was picking up garbage on the side of the road. So it's the North American Union. They're merging the countries. It just shows you the treason of government that we are basically dealing with here. Also, Obama administration eases pain of Medicare cuts. Well, I thought it was free health care for everybody. Oh, it turns out his bill cut people's Medicare. I thought it was the Republicans that were going to throw seniors out in the street. But it's the Democrats in Newsweek reporting the case for killing Granny with an image of an old woman unplugged from the wall. And Bill Gates saying we can hire 10 teachers if we don't give grandma treatment. Once they collectivize things, they play us off against each other. I want to break that down. And, of course, the huge news that I haven't even gotten to, I've mentioned it. It blows me away, but it doesn't blow me away. The feds are already making public schools, coast to coast, almost all of them, not play dodgeball. Then it's tag, then it's running, then it's shaking hands, then it's wrestling, then it's capture the flag, then it's even jogging. Well, now New York State's got legislation to basically shut down all of the camps, summer camps. They're just saying, no, you're not going to be allowed to do that. You will stay indoors. Here it says school will be out, but if it's up to New York State Health Department, a lot of city kids might be spending their time indoors. New York State Health Department created a list of what they deemed risky recreational activities and forcing many summer programs to ban these games unless they shell out extra funds to be recognized as an official summer camp. And then they've got to be under the control, and then it'll finally be banned. Now, I've read the legislation. I was watching Fox this morning, and they were kind of reporting it like it might be positive. CNN was saying it was good. I mean, if this is the patriot conservative group we've got, give me Joe Stalin. And it's just like parents can't pack lunches for their kids in Chicago. And they've hired the former head of Chicago schools now to be part of the Department of Education. This is the total tyranny where they give us asinine orders to see if we'll follow them. I mean, I've had district attorneys on. It's illegal when they stick their hands on the outside of your pants or in them. It's a felony. Homeland Security says we're above the law. It's illegal that they don't calibrate the radiation scanners. Congress a year ago demanded those numbers. They denied them. USA Today. Finally, they got leaked 10 times the radiation they'd claimed, on top of the 20 to 50 times what they claimed before. I mean, it's just frying those TSA agents. They don't care if there's highway checkpoints. With the Army and the National Guard, upstate New York, 2,000 arrests, Fox News last year, of guns and drugs, not on the border, in the middle of the state. And they showed the military with local police standing beside the giant X-ray scanners with families being told to drive under them. Just a couple years ago, the Border Patrol got behind lead shielding and put cars on special lifts that you know, like a car wash that rolled the car through. Now they just stand. You know what? Government says magic wand. This war in Libya isn't a war. Government waves magic wand. Yeah, we're cutting your Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. It's not a cut. Magic wand. Yeah, we're taking the veterans' death benefits. Magic wand. We're not counting troops that die from wounds in Iraq if they're being flown out of the country at the time. Magic wand. We haven't shown Obama's actual original birth certificate, but it doesn't matter. We've shown his certificate. Magic wand. Sodium fluoride in your water is good for you. Magic wand. Magic wand, magic wand, magic wand. They just sit there and throw it in our face. But I just want to spend 3 or 4 minutes with Ted, because then I've got to get to the news. And then coming up, at least for the last half hour of the transmission, your phone calls on any of these items, any of these issues, 1-800-259-9231, 800-259-9231, and we will get you up and on the air today. Now, here is the headline. Gold tops 1,500 on outlook for escalating U.S. debt. Geithner says up the U.S. debt or we'll have a default. But S&P, Standard & Poor's pointed out that we're having the default because of the increased debt and that they're defaulting by hyperinflation. And meanwhile, they're saying it doesn't matter if China doesn't buy our debt, the Federal Reserve will. I mean, this is Weimar Republic type stuff that is now happening, now unfolding today. This stuff is hardcore. And I wanted to bring Ted Anderson up very briefly. Gold tops $1,500 on Outlook. Gold futures rose to a record 1,550 cents an ounce as U.S. debt concerns weighed on the dollar, boosting demand for precious metals and an alternative investment. The ultra-elite universities like UT just bought $1 billion of gold. They know gold and silver are way undervalued because globally every major currency is being devalued. Ted, 30-plus years in the gold and silver business, the creator and owner of Genesis Communications. Explain to people what's happening.
Well, Alex, it's the hottest market that I've ever seen in both gold and silver. I mean, Barclays, Sarah Barclays is saying that we'll see $1,520 an ounce within the next couple of weeks, and then calling for $1,600 an ounce within the next 6 months. What's happening right now is the Federal Reserve is buying U.S. government treasuries, financing the expenditures of the United States government at the expense of everyone's savings, including the people in China, but also here in the United States, because there's so much money being pumped into the system. That's why S&P is saying, hey, what you're doing is you're creating massive inflation. You're creating an incredible bubble in the currency market, and the value of the currency is going to go downhill. You're going to either default by not paying off the debt, by not raising the debt ceiling, or you're going to default by allowing the Fed to buy U.S. government treasuries. Doesn't matter either way. The United States dollar is doomed, and this country is going right down the hill. I mean, gold went to $1,500 an ounce. My goodness, Alex. Right now, we are so close to $44 silver. I mean, it's like 2 cents away. I mean, that's how things are going right now. The value of the dollar is going down very fast. Foreigners can see it, and the people of the United States, if you haven't woken up to the fact that your savings is going right down the tubes, man, people that have not acquired a position in gold and silver, who are sitting there with 401k plans, money in the bank, invested in the stock market. I mean, I don't care what it is. If it's in dollar-denominated assets, you're in trouble. And you better do something different. The reason why these big institutions are buying gold and silver is because they can see the handwriting on the wall. And typically, these types of institutions wouldn't even touch gold and silver. They wouldn't even consider
it. And only about 1% of Americans, it's more with the Chinese, Indians, and Europeans, own physical gold or silver. Once the yuppies, and it's starting to happen, figure out what's going on, many of the analysts, mainline analysts, say 2,000, 2,500, 5,000. I've never said that. I've just pointed out that it's going to continue to go up incrementally. It's been the best performing investment in the last decade. That's why the establishment's tried to demonize it, because it competes with their fiat currency system. But, Ted, we've only got about a minute and a half left. I'm going to come back, go to some phone calls, and then I'll get into the news, because I want to go to calls. But I wanted to get you on to list people, because these are the best deals out there. And everybody says that, folks, but if you research it, you'll be blown away. The $3 silver, the free shipping, 3 of my films, $115. That's $70 off. I mean, that's below what you can get these $3 silver for anywhere, $115 with the free shipping and the 3 films. But you've also got a bunch of other gold coins that are the radio specials, because you bought them when it was lower. You're holding the price. You're not doing what other brokers do, going up, which is reasonable. Buy it low, take the risk. When it goes up, go up. You're not doing that. In fact, you're going even further. It's like letting folks get in a time machine and go back and get this gold and silver. Plus, most brokers, and I'm not trying to be mean, it's well known, they wait and get your order. Most big companies, and then they go out and get the gold. No, not Ted Anderson. It's all in stock, on hand. That's why you got to get these deals now. Ted, list a cornucopia of the special radio deals.
Well, the things that we have in our safe are like buffaloes and eagles and older $20 gold pieces, and the British sovereigns, the francs, just a whole list of various different gold coins. If you want to get really close to melt, buy the bars. The gold bars right now are about the only thing that hasn't pushed up in real high premiums. That would be where I'd suggest that you go. And without a question, I mean, if you haven't taken advantage of the $3 silver and the videos for $115, I mean, I don't know, other than walking from door to door and giving these things away for free, I don't know how I could make a better deal than that. You know?
Absolutely.